Recently, I had the opportunity to appear on the Entrepreneurs on Fire podcast. This is an unbelievable podcast produced by John Lee Dumas, and the website for the podcast is EOFire.com. That's EOFire.com. And so Aaron Antis and I were on the EOFire podcast together, and I really think that it went well. And so I wanted to provide you, the listeners, with a chance to hear it. And so now, without any further ado, here's my interview, my appearance on the EOFire podcast by John Lee Dumas.
Congratulations on 2,000 episodes, brother.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I'm trying to catch you. If you'll just stop recording for several years,
it's never going to happen. Boom, shake the room, Fire Nation. JLD here with an audio masterclass on the steps to business success. And to drop these value bombs, I have brought Clay Clark, who's the former U.S. SBA Entrepreneur of the Year, founder of 6 multi-million-dollar companies, Forbes contributor, author of 13 books, and the host of a chart-topping podcast. And today, Fire Nation, we're going to be talking all about business success with Clay, who's going to bring the heat, he's going to bring the fire as soon as we get back from thanking our sponsors. Clay, welcome back to Entrepreneurs on Fire. Please say what's up to Fire Nation and share something interesting about yourself most people don't know.
Fire Nation, what is going on? This is Clay Clark, and something that most people don't know is I'm down to 18 chickens right now. I've got this communist raccoon that keeps getting in there and killing our chickens, so we're down to 18 now, and I think your listeners need to know that.
Have you watched the documentary, The Biggest Little Farm?
No.
Now, listen, I know you don't probably watch too much TV, but that documentary is classic. It's very on topic for what you just shared, and I think you're going to absolutely love it. And that goes for you too, Fire Nation. It's an absolutely exceptional documentary, The Biggest Little Farm. And Fire Nation, as I shared, we're going to be talking about you quadrupling your business in 1 year. And I mean, this is Clay Clark. This guy delivers on these bold statements. He's done it time and time again. And Clay, let's be honest, you've helped now thousands, and I mean thousands of people, achieve both time and financial freedom, which is a top priority for many people in Fire Nation. So how do you do this? And we love specific examples.
Well, what we do is we do a 13-point assessment. So we sit down. When I say we, I personally sit down with each person. So I've call screeners and people that vet to see if the ideal and likely buyer is the right fit for us. But then I do a 13-point assessment with each person because I only work with 160 clients, and I really get to figure out their goals. So step one, I ask them their goals. And every client has different goals. Some want to buy some clients want to buy vacation homes. Some people want time freedom. Some people like to work all the time and they just want to make more money. Some people are trying to get the startup off the ground, but you got to clarify their goals because I don't want my goals to become their goals. Otherwise, all of the clients would end up having a very beautiful farm with a lot of silky chickens, and they'd be watching The Biggest Little Farm documentary. So I don't put my goals on other people. And then step two, I figure out who their ideal and likely buyers are. So specifically, PMHOKC is a client I work with right now, PMHOKC.com. It stands for Perfect My Home, Oklahoma City, so PMHOKC.com. This guy came in, he had a goal to create more time freedom and financial freedom, and he had specific metrics he wanted to hit. His name is Randy Antrican. And, he used to do $50,000 a month of sales. Some months maybe do $100,000 a month of sales. And now every single month, every single week, actually, he's doing over $250,000 of sales per week, and he used to do $100,000 a month during a busy month. And so we had to figure out, though, his ideal and likely buyers are essentially soccer moms who want pergolas, patios, outdoor kitchens, and they live in the Oklahoma City area. They're basically the women who shop at Whole Foods. And so we had to stop advertising everywhere else and to anybody else who was not his ideal and likely buyer. We had to stop advertising to men. We had to start advertising to women. We had to focus on the right zip codes, the right areas, and we were able to reach those people. And then step three, JLDs, we have to gather everyone's passwords. And I know this seems stupid that it's on the assessment, but I'll ask somebody, do you know where all your passwords are?
Right.
And I bet you somewhere between 95% and 100% of the people, depending upon the time of the year, don't have their passwords. They can't find them. So it's like maybe they had a web developer who built them a beautiful site, but they can't log on and fix it. Or maybe they have an awesome Facebook page that they started updating recently, and then they can't find the password. So we help them get organized with all their files, all their passwords, make sure all the nomenclature is proper. And then step 4, I make sure that their website is Google Canonical compliant. I know that's a big word, but I want to make sure that their site can be found. So if all your listeners will take just a second right now, and they will do a search for, let's say, do a search for carpet cleaning quotes. Carpet cleaning quotes. And if you do a search for carpet cleaning quotes and you get past the ads, because there's a lot of ads up there right now, you're going to see a company called OxyFresh, OXI Fresh. And that's been a long-time client of mine. They have 179,299 Google reviews right now. They're doing okay. And they have over 410 locations. And that's a guy I met in college back in the day. So that is a specific example. Or if your listeners will type in OKC pergolas, OKC pergola, like an outdoor pergola area for your house, you should see somewhere in the top results PMH OKC. Or if you type in Tulsa irrigation systems, you're going to see into Google search, if you do a search for Tulsa irrigation systems, you're going to see my client Living Water Irrigation, which, by the way, this guy now is doing $70,000 a week in sales, and he used to do $10,000 to $15,000 a month. That's Living Water Irrigation. So those are 3 examples, 3 great people, and I view what I do as I'm a magnifier. I'm a supplier. I'm not going to say, go do this, and now you have to magically find a web development team. I have a team for you. I have web developers, search engine optimizers, videographers, photographers, and I'm all about outsourcing, but all my people are full-time people. So we have a crew and a squad that has developed together over the past, since 2006. We have a great team here. And so we make sure the client's website is canonically compliant. Essentially, is it top in Google? And then step 5, we make an About Us video. And if you go to shawhomes.com, they have a nice conversion video on the website. And there's a method to it. There's a way to create an emotional connection. And you've done some great podcasts about this. So that's step 5. And but if you go to shawhomes.com, you can see that. And then step 6, and I don't want to eat the entire show with all the steps, but step 6, we create a no-brainer. And a no-brainer is a deal so hot, so good, that people can't say no to it. So if you go to livingwaterirrigation.com, even if I got the client to the top of the Google search results, but they didn't have a hot offer, they wouldn't get any deals. So their offer is this, JLD. It's $1 for the service call. So when you and Kate the Great want to get your irrigation, it would be probably a travel fee from Tulsa to Puerto Rico. But he would show up and you'd say, how much is it to come out and give me a quote? He'd say, it's $1. And you know it's $1. So that way, my partner, Dr. Robert Zellner, we work on a lot of things together. The optometry clinic that my partner, Dr. Zellner, runs, and I kind of do marketing. I provide marketing tips for his companies and that kind of thing. It's drzellner.com, DRZOELLNER.com. Your first pair of glasses and your first exam is $99. And one might say, how do you guys make any money? We don't. You're just trying to get the deal. You're trying to get the look. You're trying to get the first look with that person. And then if you wow them, they're going to come back and bring friends. And then another example would be if you go to my business, if you type in Tulsa Men's Haircuts, you'll find my company, Elephant in the Room, or EITRLounge.com. That's EITRLounge.com. The first haircut's just $1. Now, we have 4,000 members, and we're very profitable, and it's done very well. But that when a haircut's just $1, I mean, JLD, you know how it is. I mean, you have some precious lettuce. You've got some great hair up there, and you don't want to have that mop mangled. But if it's just $1, it's kind of like, well, I mean, I'll give it a whirl. So, again, it's just those are the first 6 steps, and we go through all 13 steps. Takes probably an hour, usually 30 minutes. And then I go back into my laboratory, my man cave, and I think to myself, do I like this person? I have that thought. And if they meet the criteria of the kind of person I would like to help, AKA are they making a product that makes the world better, then I will see if we have a spot for them. And then I make a plan, and the plan takes me usually between 4 and 10 hours to make. It's almost like a blueprint, and I roll it out for the client. And one of your listeners, I don't know if you've heard this story, she listens to your show all the time because you're a better podcast host than I am.
Oh, stop.
No, this is a great lady, but she's obviously confused because she left the EOFire podcast at least one time to listen to my crazy show on the thrivetimeshow.com. And she's if you go to thrivetimeshow.com right now, thrivetimeshow.com right now, and you click on the testimonials button, this young lady, one of your listeners, Stephanie Pipkin, is the owner of Black River Falls. And despite being in the COVID-19 chaos, this young lady has diligently implemented all of her homework and has tripled the amount of leads for her commercial cleaning company, tripled the number of her leads in just 4 months. All as a result of not just listening to your show, but applying what we taught her. And it's just I never get bored. It's my passion, my friend.
Fire Nation, I hope you can see why I keep bringing Clay back on the show, and why I was so excited to have a partnership with him and have him sponsor the podcast at such a high level, because he gets results. So many people within Fire Nation are utilizing him and getting results. My CPA just emailed me. He's like, John, I heard Clay on your show. Like, I'm going to go and apply to be one of his 160 clients because I need what he's giving. And he gives the specific examples during these shows on how he's actually improving people's lives, how he's actually improving people's businesses. And there's nothing above and beyond that when it comes to actually making that difference. In fact, we have Aaron, who's going to be coming up later in the show, who is one of Clay's actual clients, who is rocking and rolling, who's going to be sharing exactly what it was like and what it is like to work with somebody like Clay. And there's going to be so much value that comes from all this we're going to be sharing today. And I can just tell you one thing, Clay, for me, that the Army helped me do in those 8 years that I spent as an officer, because I went in disorganized. I came out a pretty organized person, because if you're not organized in the Army, like, you're ate up and you're just not going to make it. So what percentage of your clients are what you would consider chronically disorganized, and how do you help them get more organized?
Can I let you in on a secret, just you and your millions of listeners? Okay, here's the deal. All the listeners, if you will go to eitrlounge.com, I got to say it quietly now, eitrlounge.com/staff, eitrlounge.com/staff. If you go there, there's going to be a password protected little button, and I will be happy to give you the password because I own the company, and you can get the password because I own the company. I'm going to give it to your listeners for free, and you can see all the core operating documents that we use to run the company.
Oh, wow.
And it's that we are franchising that company. And you might say, you're crazy. You're going to give away your systems? Yes. Well, why? Because I want you to see what you need. And you might say, well, Clay, what if you have a competitor listening to the show? Oh, I do. I know many people love the EOFire show, and many of them are hair salons in Tulsa. I know this.
Yeah, big time.
I've ran into these guys, but I'll tell you, it's the execution of these ideas. Oh, it is the execution, because Thomas Edison said that vision without execution is hallucination. Vision without execution is hallucination. And so I give these things to you because I know that most people, not your listeners, but most people, they just want to have ideas. But as a percentage, how many of them are organized? Somewhere around 10%.
Okay.
But, it's because we're so busy and we're so excited and we're seizing the day and we've got a chance to spend an hour with our network here on the EOFire podcast, and we're fired up. And we're going from idea to idea, but we don't have your journal yet. If we had your journal, if we had the John Lee Dumas journal, we would write things down and we would implement them. But some people just don't have your journal yet. That's the problem.
Oh, man, there's so much here that I love. And I mean, Fire Nation, again, can you please hit the pause button if you need to hit the rewind 30 seconds? Go back, visit this website, enter in the password, get these documents. Success leaves clues. Clay's had massive success on multiple levels. He's not just leaving clues. He's giving you the key to the treasure chest where the clues are. So go take action, make it happen. And one thing that you said earlier, Clay, that I want to kind of go back to real quick is you help people create hot offers. I mean, dare I say, on fire offers?
Oh,
so break it down for us, brother. Where do most people get it wrong when it comes to making an offer that actually generates sales?
Well, I'll say this. All of your listeners right now, if they go to thrivetimeshow.com, they go to thrivetimeshow.com and / if they go to the thrivetimeshow.com and they go to / EOFire. So thrivetimeshow.com / EOFire. When you go there, you're going to see that I'm offering a 13-point assessment for free. Now, a smart person, and your listeners are smart, they're going to say, what's the catch? Is this guy going to email me every day? No. Is this guy going to force me to buy something? No. If this guy only has 160 spots, how can he say that on the show? Well, it's because Timothy Johnson, a wonderful ophthalmologist in Tuscaloosa, is going to be transitioning into a greater, I'll just say this, he's going into a different level in his life, which creates an opening for you. There's some really cool stuff happening with the ophthalmologist in Tuscaloosa. Great things.
Ooh,
and so because of that, it creates an opening. Or it's because Nathan with peakmedicaltech.com was able to sell his business, and that created an opening a few months ago. Nathan with Peak Medical Tech there in Boise, Idaho. But the offer's got to be hot. It's got to be an offer that is so good that Aaron Antis, you're going to have on later. This guy, let me tell you, this guy gets his haircut at Sports Clips. And Sports Clips is a fine place. And I've known the guy for 4 years, and I have a haircut place. I have a haircut chain. I say, what more can I do for you? We help triple your business. He's making a lot of money. And he says, I just like it. They take walk-ins. Now, we don't take walk-ins because we are an appointment-only business. So it's when you're used to, and Sports Clips is a fine company. But we are like a country club for hair, and you have to set a tea time, so to speak. And so the deal's $1. And even being $1, I think Aaron was still thinking, well, I really like Sports Clips. And you don't do walk-ins. And so I'm like, it's $1. And it's got to be so good that people go, well, okay, well, how do you make any money then? How do you make any money with this $1 deal? What is the catch? And you go, well, there's no catch. But if you want to come back, you have to be a member, and it's $38 a month to be a member. And people go, oh, I do want to be a member, but they got to come in to experience it. So everybody out there listening, if you're a plumber, make your service call $1. If you're a janitor, say that your first cleaning is $1. If you're an optometrist, make your first exam and appointment $99. If you're a new home builder, give people $15,000 of free upgrades just like they do at shawhomes.com. If you're a big box gym, go to colawfitness.com. Check out this laser show, Fire Nation. Do a search for Joplin Gyms, Joplin Gyms, Joplin Gyms. And when you do that, you're going to see Colaw Fitness coming up top 7 times in the first 12 results.
Wow.
And when you go to colawfitness.com, colawfitness.com, when you go there, check this out. His model is super hot. It is a big box gym membership for as little as $5 a month. How could you not try it out? At least be curious. You want to make a deal just hot, because if you don't make a deal that's so super hot, people are going to reject you. Now, once you make a hot offer, you need testimonials. And that's why when we go to thrivetimeshow.com and you click on the testimonials button, no exaggeration, I have worked with thousands of clients, but I have failed to gather a video review from hundreds of them. So we only have probably 500, 600 video reviews at this point, JLD, of real clients we've helped. You can see real people on camera testifying to their success.
It's unbelievable.
But those video reviews really move the needle. And you mentioned your accounting friend. I work with hoodcpas.com, who's also one of Aaron's friends, hoodcpas.com. And if you type in Tulsa CPAs, you can see he's top in Google. And I've helped Paul Hood grow dramatically. I mean, he's probably the largest accounting firm now, one of the largest ones in Oklahoma. And I also work with the Spurl accounting firm up there in Canada. And both of those guys have a no-brainer. It's a free assessment with Hood CPAs. And then he gives you a free copy of Warren Buffett's book, Snowball. So you get a free book and a free meeting just to see if you want to switch to a different accountant. There's just you got to make the deal hot. It's got to be so good that people can't resist it.
Oh, well, man, I can just tell you, Clay, if you ever can or come across my buddy Ron, is CPA on fire, and you have an extra spot, squeeze that guy in, because he's got a heart of gold. He needs you as much as life needs itself, and definitely something to keep in mind, Fire Nation, when you're going forward with those video reviews. So underrated. And oh man, I remember getting so many emails from your last episode, Clay, of people saying they've never taken so many notes nor followed so many calls to action since they listened to your episode, because they were just having to press pause, go to websites, pause, go to calls to action. And Fire Nation, it is so worth it, because Clay is just giving you all of the tools, all the tactics you need to take that next step. So I love that one call to action, thrivetimeshow.com/EOFire. That's your starting point for all things. Your free 13-point assessment, and it's going to lead you to so much more. So Clay, we're about to take a break to actually talk more about Thrive during our break, since you are the presenting sponsor. But before we do, because when we come back, we'll be focusing on Aaron for the remainder of the show. Anything you want to share or say with Fire Nation?
I just want to say that the amount of time that you and I have on this earth is very limited. I lost my dad to Lou Gehrig's disease approximately 3 years ago. And whenever you lose somebody, that's when you realize the opportunities you're not taking advantage of. When you lose a friend or family member close to you, you then start to say, oh, wow, I wasted that year. I wasted that month. So there's two stories that are happening right now to your listeners. Either one, they just like listening to this show because they have a psychological problem and they just like to listen to ideas but not implement them. And that's not your listeners.
Not Fire Nation.
But the second category, and I think this might be your listeners, it's where you think the people who are having super success are better than you and you don't deserve it. You think success is for other people. You've been told that, you've heard that, you've told yourself that. And so when you hear Aaron Antis, this is a guy who used to deliver Domino's pizzas, who's now sold over $1 billion of homes. And he was already very successful before he met me, but he had the humility to ask when he needed help, but he also had the belief in himself that he could do it and that he could become Oklahoma's largest home builder. And now his company is shawhomes.com. So I'm super excited for you to meet Aaron Antis with shawhomes.com.
Fire Nation, the value bombs are going to keep coming as soon as we get back from thanking our sponsors. So we are back, and as we kind of teased before the break, we have Aaron that is coming on the mic. And Aaron, you're here, brother, and you've worked with Clay every week for 4 years now, and you've grown shawhomes.com. That's SHAW homes.com by not 100, not 200, but 338%. Yes. What were you most skeptical about when you first heard about this dude named Clay?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on the show
today.
This
welcome.
is awesome. Well, first of all, I have worked with a lot of different marketing firms, a lot of different agencies trying to do things over the years. And I'm always a little bit skeptical because everybody's got a great pitch for you about what's going to be so awesome about what they can do for you. But then when you get into the weeds with them and start, getting down the road a little ways, you start to find the, little idiosyncrasies that don't actually work, or the marketing plan they had set up that they guaranteed you was going to be a surefire way to success all of a sudden isn't so successful. And so it was my skepticism of, I don't know who this guy is who dresses so crazy and has such an incredibly insane office with pictures of himself as, the jerk on the wall, or as President Trump, or, just so many crazy things in this office. And I'm like, who is this interesting human? And is what he's going to tell me going to be any different? So that was where my skepticism was going to lie at the beginning of things. If I fast forward to today, my wife would tell you that I went home from the first meeting and I was like, I am not doing any of this crap that this guy told me to do. This is insane. Like, this is so different from what I've done, and he doesn't understand my business.
Ooh,
my business is different than all those. Yeah, you may have helped a CPA. You may have helped a optometrist or some other doctor, but that's not the home building world. And trust me, my business is so complicated. And so I told my wife, I'm not doing it. I'm not following this path. I might try this and this, but these other 4 things, I'm not doing these things. And if I fast forward to today, I literally tell friends of mine who I've referred to Clay that are other business owners who came to me saying they're struggling. They're like, man, you guys are killing it. What do I need to do? And I say one thing: you need to meet Clay Clark. And then whatever he tells you to do, do it. Don't argue with them because you're wrong, even though you think you're right. And I've found that to be true all the way through our relationship, except with the exception of getting my hair cut for $1 because they don't take walk-ins. But other than that, he's on point on everything.
4 years, Aaron has worked with Clay. 338% is what he's grown his business, shawhomes.com. Of all of that, let's cut to the core. What's the biggest benefits of working with Clay Clark?
You know, I mean, I'm sitting here next to the guy, but I tell people when he's not around the same thing. I feel like Clay sees patterns better than anybody I've ever known. I kind of wonder if maybe he's slightly autistic or Asperger's or something, because he literally sees patterns in a way that I've never seen anybody see patterns. And he's really outstanding in his communication skills to be able to lay those things out. You've heard him on the podcast already. He's an incredible communicator. And so he draws out a path that lets you know how to navigate through those things. Just the incredible knowledge of having worked with literally thousands of clients and seeing things sometimes from a perspective that's different than mine. When I come in, I was already extremely successful in real estate, and I kind of came in with a chip on my shoulder like, you can't tell me, I already know. And then he would show me these patterns, and I would go home and say, yeah, you're probably right. Or I would get to a point of frustration where I'm like, I need to change something because this isn't working. And when I would do what he said, it would just work out. And then after the fact, I came to this confidence level of just do what he told you to do. And it just works. It's great to get inside of the mind of somebody like him and have him lay out the path. It's just a proven path, and it works. And it's hard to trust people in this world of like so much different advertising that's false and news is fake. And there's so many things that aren't the real deal. And so for me, getting around somebody who is the real deal, that's just been a huge blessing in my life.
You said multiple times that Clay's different, but I want to get specific. I would love an example of something different that he had you do, maybe even at the beginning when you went back, like you shared with your wife, and were just like, I'm not doing any of these things. But what was like one of those things that you were initially skeptical of that proved to be a massive success when you implemented it?
Sure, there's probably like 8 of them, but I would say one of them was he kept telling me, Aaron, your sales team isn't doing what they say that they're doing when they're in your model homes. And our model homes are it's a home at the entrance to a community, and they sit in the home all by themselves all day and wait for customers to come in. And he said, they're just not doing what you think they're doing, and they're definitely not making as many follow-up calls with customers as you'd like them to be making. And so he said, you need to get video cameras in all of your model homes, and you need to have somebody watch the video all day long and make sure they're staying on task, because most people don't do well all by themselves in a home.
True.
And then he said, you need to record their phone calls and count their phone calls and critique their phone calls, and your sales will go up dramatically. He told me that. Well, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was the difference between 2016 and 2017, where we nearly doubled in that 1 year when we made that one change. And when I put in the cameras, I had multiple people, and this was what I was probably worried about. I had multiple people say, I think you're unethical. This is immoral. You shouldn't be watching me on video. You shouldn't be recording my phone calls. This has got to be against the law, which it's not. And so there was a lot of backlash from my team. And a couple days later, and Clay actually told me this was going to happen before I did it.
Well, you didn't hide the cameras from them. You told them the cameras were going in.
I told them, and I put them where they could see them.
Just like Walmart, just like Target.
Yeah, and so Clay told me literally, you're going to have a huge backlash. They're going to tell you you're immoral, unethical, something like that. And so I put them up, and all of a sudden, the people who were telling me it was immoral and unethical were both the people who were stealing from us,
Oof.
The guy who was working out for 3 hours a day in the model home and comes to me to confess to me, by the way, are you okay with me taking like 3 hours from 1 to 4 in the afternoon to do a workout? I've actually got some weights that are hidden inside the model home, and I usually pump iron for a couple hours.
Wow.
Is that okay? And then I had another one who was like, hey, by the way, I normally leave the model home between about 2 and 3:30 to go pick up my kids, all my 3 different kids from 3 different schools, and take them home, even though my wife is a stay-at-home
They weren't
mom.
even there, but they were getting paid.
Right. And it's like,
Ugh.
wow.
And yet
So
you're immoral.
that was a game changer that I did not believe him about. I thought that all humans were just completely ethical, loved accountability, and would just do whatever I, as the supreme leader, was telling them.
Well, you thought you hired John Lee Dumas is the thing.
Oh,
He thought he hired you.
Exactly. I thought
No, I would have hired those workout those workout weights. I would have been the person pumping iron on the side there.
I literally thought that I hired myself, and I think most business owners, I think a lot of them don't realize other people don't have that drive and that work ethic that they have, and so they think their people are doing an awesome job.
So Fire Nation, Clay's coaching program, number one, is month to month, which is amazing. I love that flexibility. And it literally costs less money than hiring a single full-time minimum wage employee. So Aaron, break it down for us. What would you say to anybody in Fire Nation who's out there and they're thinking about checking out what Clay has to offer?
Well, I mean, first of all, you will never thank yourself more than after you get started with him. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I had a very close friend of mine who came to me one day and he was like, Aaron, I've had this one business that's been doing outstanding for 20 years, and I opened a new location, and literally the purchase of this new location is going to put me out of business. I'm losing so much money at it.
Oh.
And I told him, I said, you need to talk to Clay. And I brought him up to Clay the next week when I had my meeting. I brought him by, introduced him, and the first words out of his mouth was, this guy doesn't understand my business. My business is different. He doesn't understand what I do. And I was like, dude, I already said that. That was like the first thing I said.
Now, real quick, big shout out to Roy with Roy's Garage in Broken Arrow, thegarageba.com.
Yes.
He went from the bottom to the top, thegarageba.com. And big shout out to his son-in-law, Colton Dixon, coltondixon.com. He's the Atlantic Records recording artist, and he's also one of my clients. And his agent also works with Ed Sheeran and Jason Mraz. So check out coltondixon.com. He just dropped some new music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great people. And so Roy's business has absolutely exploded. He is hitting historic records. And he actually told me the other day, he's like, Aaron, I don't know how to thank you enough. You introducing me to Clay has absolutely changed my life forever. And probably the best thing that's ever happened to me. And that's honestly how I feel about my relationship with Clay is, I feel like when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And I honestly felt like God led me to Clay because I was looking for that person to help take me to the next level. I didn't know where the answer was. I was actually seeking at the time, looking for something. And then a friend of mine introduced me to Clay, and the rest is history.
Wow. Well, Aaron, thank you for coming on, brother, and sharing your story, your opinions, your advice, your thoughts. I mean, super helpful for a lot of reasons. And Fire Nation, I can just speak directly to you for a second and share with you. The last time Clay came on the show, you, the listeners, reacted so positively towards it and, took this 13-point assessment by the droves, which is one reason why Clay and I have partnered up for a year for him to sponsor the show because he represents Entrepreneurs on Fire so well. And everybody that we've sent to him has come back with nothing but incredibly similar raving comments that you heard from Aaron. I mean, literally, it's been 100% positive feedback and not just positive, but like incredibly high, unbelievable, and a lot of times life and business changing feedback. So let me just say, Fire Nation, if you're not at least going to go check out thrivetimeshow.com/EOFire to just check out that free 13-point assessment to go through it. And then, to maybe, if you're a fit, because again, Healing works with 160 people total, possibly get into one of those 160 slots. I know you're going to have nothing but an unbelievable story to tell, like Aaron, like the countless other people that Clay has helped. So Clay, with all that being said, I want to bring you back on. Give us one final takeaway that you want to make sure that our listeners walk away with, then any final call to action you have for us, and then we'll say goodbye.
Yeah, well, I want to give your listeners, if I can, $350 of free stuff, and that's what I'd like to do. Free stuff that can help you grow your business. Tools, we'll call them. So if the listeners will go to thrivetimeshow.com/EOFire, right now they can download my book, Search Engine Optimization Domination. They can download the Don't Let Your Employees Hold You Hostage. They can download the Start Here book, the Boom book, The Art of Getting Things Done. All these books, you can download all my books for free right now by going to thrivetimeshow.com/EOFire. You can also, here's the catch. You got to find, JLD, where do you want your reviews, my friend? Do you like reviews on iTunes? Are you a big Spotify? Where do you want people to leave you a review?
I'm an Apple Podcast iTunes guy.
Okay, so if all the listeners can find the Entrepreneurs on Fire podcast on iTunes, everybody has to go find it, and leave a review about John Lee Dumas. Maybe tell him how I screwed up this show and how it would be better if I wasn't on it, whatever. But leave him a review. And after you leave him a review, screenshot that, okay? Screenshot it and email it to us at info@thrivetimeshow.com. info@thrivetimeshow.com. So just leave a review, screenshot. If you can't figure out how to screenshot, just email us to info@thrivetimeshow.com. And our tickets to our conferences are normally $250. And basically, your ticket's going to be free, except you just got to pay for the food when you're here. So it's $37. So you come to a conference, because we're always booked out for coaching. And if we are booked out, I don't want you to be discouraged. You can come to a conference for $37. You can download all the books right there, or you can schedule a 13-point assessment and set the 13-point assessment. And I just want to tell you, this is your year to thrive. This is your year to do it. You can do it. You have the capacity to do it. You have the tenacity to do it. You have the tools to do it. And if you're financially in a tough spot and you can't afford $1,700 a month, we have a scholarship. And the scholarship is simply this. We meet you at a certain discounted rate, and you don't have to pay it back, but we do that to help certain clients in need if we think you qualify. And some of our best success stories started out as scholarship clients. And Aaron Antis did not start out as a scholarship client because he was already doing $24 million a year of sales before he met me, and now we're on pace to hit $133 million this year. So No scholarships for Aaron Antis.
Of course not.
This is unbelievable. And I mean, Fire Nation, this is just showing you the quality and type of person that Clay is. I mean, this is an amazing offer to that next level. thrivetimeshow.com/EOFire. I want you, Fire Nation, to be that next Fire Nation success story. I've already gotten emails from multiple before. I want you to be that next one. So definitely make that happen. Support Clay, who's such a big supporter of the show. And listen, if you're not an Apple person, I get it. Some people can't access Apple Podcasts and iTunes. So I'm sure Clay will accept either a Spotify or Stitcher as well if you have to go that route for that.
Absolutely.
Unbelievably kind, generous 5-star review you're going to hopefully give Entrepreneurs on Fire. So yeah, I heard you say yes, Clay. So that's awesome. And Fire Nation, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You've been hanging out with CC, JLD, and even Aaron today. So you got to keep up the heat with just 2 more people. And Clay, Aaron, I want to say thank you both for sharing your truth, your knowledge with Fire Nation. For that, we salute you, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, over here at the Thrive Time Show, we like to end each and every show with a boom. And so now, without any further ado, 3, 2, 1, boom.
Clay, every time I think you can't match the energy from last interview that we did, you just bring it to the next level. How do you do that?
Waterboarding. I waterboard myself every morning and just kind of get that adrenaline up there. Am I going to die? Am I going to die? And then when I don't, I just transmute that adrenaline into the show. Stop what you're doing and think about this for a second. What would happen if your company was suddenly able to generate exponentially more quality sales leads? That would be incredible. What would happen if your company came up at the top or near the top of the Google search engine results?
Well, I would just feel overwhelmed with all that business.
How many thousands of dollars in lost sales or millions of dollars in lost sales are you missing out on simply because your potential customers can't find you when they go online to search for the products and services that you offer?
I refuse to think that thought because I don't want any more business.
Unless you are a dirty communist that hates money, my new book, Search Engine Domination, will help you grow your business. In my new book, Search Engine Domination, we will teach you the specific steps that you need to take to dominate the search engine results.
What do you mean by dominate?
You see, in my new book, Search Engine Domination, we will teach you the specific steps that you need to take to dominate search engine results. Download your free ebook copy today at thebestseobook.com. I repeat, that's thebestseobook.com.
My name is Amy Baltimore, and I am a CPA in Covington, Tennessee. I've been working with the Thrive team now for about a year. One of the first things that they did was to update my website and my search engine optimization. I prior had a website, but I was not being found on Google, and all of my new business was coming through referrals from friends, family, etc. And right away I started to see results. People were calling and coming in saying that they found me on Google. They just Googled CPA near me, and there I was at the top of the page. And so it's been a great help to my business.
Again, you can download your free ebook copy today at thebestseobook.com.
Hey, this is Dustin Huff. I'm with Keystone Harbor Marina. We joined Thrive back in January and have been working with these guys for about 7 months. During that time period, we have moved up our Google rank through reviews and SEO processes that we've compiled through these guys. Our leads have gone from about 4 a week to now 165 a week. So the process works. I will tell you from experience, once you begin, you have to stay with it. As long as you continually do this week in and week out, month in and month out, you'll continually grow.
The system works, but nothing works unless you do. You've got to take some action. Download the ebook for free today at thebestseobook.com.
Hello, my name is Daniel with Daniel's Heating and Air here in Amarillo, Texas. The way Google has affected my business, we have got a lot of calls from Google. Right now it's July, and we've had the best month ever. And it took us about 8 to 10 months to get on top of Google, and I'm glad we did.
Remember, nothing works unless you do. You have to go to thebestseobook.com today. Download the ebook for free. Just download that ebook for free, and you'll be off to the races.
Hi, my name is Christina Dumas. I'm the owner and operator of Angel's Touch Auto Body and Detailing in Bourne, Massachusetts. We have been working with Thrive and their coaching for, say, 8 to 9 months, and it took us about 6 months, 5 to 6 months to get on the top of Google, and with their help with the website and marketing, and the SEO and retargeting ads with Google, and it has been phenomenal. We just have light and day business coming in, phone calls coming in, walk-ins, referrals. It's just through the roof, and we couldn't be happier. At the moment, we are up 50% this year from the previous year, and not only is that part of our own hard work and diligence, but also with the help of Thrive and what they've done for us and getting us on the top of Google and, you know, all their knowledge and coaching. And yeah, so super grateful, super pumped to see what the future holds for all of us. Thank you.
This is your year to thrive. Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time.
Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. Proverbs 10:4. I'm here to tell you, you can do it if you can just motivate yourself. 12 the masses had to cut off a few, so on the daily you and I could rendezvous. A misshapen tree that I had to prune. I had to make cuts to be here daily at noon. So, like a tidal wave of knowledge monsoon, I could rain on the parades of those who doubt in you. Are you the next Rockefeller or the next guru? Or the next Dr. King who's changing the rules? Walls are in your way, will you run right through? Like a running back, forth the one, it's up to you. I remember my days back in the dorm room, tuned to the gloom like the temple of doom. Overwhelmed with the doubts that try to consume my hope for the future that I could pursue. But from the mountaintop now I can conclude that you have what it takes if you want the view to.
This is your year to thrive. Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time. It's your year to thrive. Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time.
This moment is profound cause you're above the ground. Your road might have been rough, but what you got now is now. We're here to pick you up and to even show you how. But you gotta be resourceful with that old plow. Started from the bottom, but I worked my way up. Cause by 4 a.m. I've always been prayed up. Rise and grind, now's your time, don't dare let up. You gotta get it, don't quit it till your seeds grow up.
This is your year to thrive.
Come on.
Success you will find.
Yes.
Today is your day.
Somebody say,
And now is your time.
it's your time.
It's your year to thrive.
Come on.
Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time.
It's your time. We all have a wish and we all want to win, but we cannot begin without self-discipline. If you fall on your face, get yourself up again. Attach yourself to goals, not fail with the friends. When the storms get rough and they scatter and leave, you only be there with yourself and what you believe. We believe in you, but not as much as God does. If you're going through hell, He's got nothing but love. Apply what you learn, increase what you earn, and in due time
You got money to burn. Apply what you've learned, increase what you burn, and in due time you got money to burn.
Sing it.
Apply what you've learned, increase what you burn. In due time you got money to burn.
Sing it.
Apply what you've learned,
Sing it.
increase what you burn.
Yes.
In due time you got money to
With this biblical miracle, I look to shout down the doubters. Kill the weeds that be killing your dream flowers. Empower you to devour all the obstacles that make your sweet dreams sour. As for me, I used to stutter, but now I'm on the microphone smooth like butter. If I can do it, I know you can too, but you must stick to it like postage do. And while Merton's on the chorus, singing what he sings, I encourage you to dream big dreams.
Today is your day.
Today's your day.
And now is your time.
It's your time.
This is your year to thrive.
Sing it.
Success you will find. Today is your day.
It's your day.
And now is your time.
It's your time.
Today is your day.
Come on.
And now is your time.
Sing it, Merton.
Today is your day. Now is your time.
I realize I can't sing like that, but I can talk and play the woodblock. Okay. If you guys need me, I'll just be over here.